It is time to expand minds through movies, TV, sports, and flicks. It is time to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. It is time for the Captain Talks Flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talk Flicks podcast. I'm your host, Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. And ladies and gentlemen, this past week, I went back to the world of gold coins, fast driving cars, awesome Continental hotels, a world like ours, but not quite, a world of John Wick. Yes, I went there. Let me get into that. First couple things. I want to give a big shout out to Colombia. Got some plays in Colombia this past week. Gracias, gratitude, todo va. And Colombia. I love your coffee. Colombian coffee is so good. It's delicious. I've had Colombian coffee so many times in my life. It's just so good. And also, additionally, your land is beautiful. One of these days, I just like to travel there, just hang out, chill, relax, enjoy the sights, enjoy the food. So appreciate it. Listen, thank you. Gracias, gratitude. And additionally, this episode is brought to you by the song called Big Backpacks by Sunzu Kazak and Che Casanova. I guarantee you, never heard anything like in your life. It's them rapping over electronics, type beats, and new styles you've ever heard, creative wordplay, lessons, observations, talk about real life, cool things, things that are fun. So anyways, if you want to hear the song called Big Backpacks, I'll put it below. Check it out. Now, let's get to the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, this past week, I did go back to the world of John Wick. Captain, how would you do that? Did you watch a DVD? You watch a Blu-ray? Did you stream something? Did you play the video game? Oh yeah, in fact, I did play the video game. Apparently, there's a video game called John Wick Continental Pursuit. And I guess it just came out just last month. And when I was visiting Dave Buster's, I was walking around the area, the space, looking at the games, playing games there periodically. I was going hanging out. There it was. John Wick Continental Pursuit. And whenever I see John Wick somewhere, someplace, written somewhere, I look at it automatically. John Wick is very interesting to me. I love the world. And if you've been following this podcast for a while, you know I've done countless podcasts about the movies, TV show, all types of stuff talking about John Wick. I have a gold coin from John Wick World sitting by my TV in the living room right now because I love it that much. In fact, I have a gray suit, black turtleneck, black shoes, black belt, just like John Wick. Bro, I'm all in on this world. And I was talking to my girl Renee LA, and she's like, bro, you like Star Trek and it's all about peace and John Wick's so violent. How can you get into it? I don't know. It's just the world is so fascinating to me. Violence is kind of whatever, But it's just a wonderful, wonderful world. And I just think they live by codes. They kind of remind me of samurai a little bit. And I just found it fascinating. And also, too, it's a very unique, interesting concept when it first came out. Like, nobody was doing anything like this that I'd seen. And it was just so good. It was the best thing he's done since The Matrix, in my opinion. So anyways, I love the world. The world's phenomenal. I'll watch anything that comes out. I haven't seen The Ballerina yet, by the way, which I'm probably going to watch this week. But anyways, when I was at Dave Buster's and I saw the game, I told Renee, girl, let's go play this right now. So I took my card, put it up there, we played that. So what happens is you get into this video game, you sit in a seat, and you're driving around in a car, and the car's driving, and you're shooting at targets and enemies. It's like a shooting game. But the thing about this that's very interesting is the car you sit in or the seat you sit in moves. It moves, it gyrates, it's got like a gyro in it. So we're in a game, we're playing, it's moving, the car's driving, you got the gun, you shoot at targets. It's phenomenally great. I felt like I was in the John Wick world. It was absolute craziness. Now, yesterday, when I did go to Dave Buster's, I dressed a little nice that day because we went out to eat that day and I was dressed a little nice, a little bit nicer clothes. I had dress clothes and dress shoes and I had my fancy Meta Ray-Bans on. In fact, if you look at socials, I recorded some gameplay using the Meta Ray-Bans. Visually looks super dope. And it's just a fun game you should play. And because I was dressed up more playing the game, it just felt like I was more in the world. Because in the world of John Wick, everybody's dressed sharp for the most part. So I was in the game, playing a dress sharp, playing the game. It was a phenomenal experience. It was great. I played it multiple times. Even Renee Leia was loving it. Now in the thing on the social, you can't see it, but she's decided she's also helped me out with winning. It's like a 2-player game, co-play where they call that together. We're fighting them enemies. She's by my side, the chair is moving. She loved it, I love it. But yeah, the game is solid. So what I do now is kind of get into my general view on video games. Now, this podcast is about anything you see on the screen and video games you see on the screen. So it's an interactive screenplay, so it does fit the category of this podcast. And I believe I've told the story before, but I'll tell it again. I am 50 years old. I've virtually seen every iteration of video games you can imagine. You know, Pong, Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, etc., etc. ColecoVision, Atari 2600, Nintendo Entertainment System, Neo Geo, Sega Saturn. I can list them all. There's too many to list, but virtually every video game system for the most part, I've seen almost all of them because I'm so old and I played virtually all of them. I did the home gaming up to about 2012. The PS3 is kind of my last system I bought. I kind of stopped after that. Because I really went hardcore into the arts, talk about podcasting and the rhyme and all that. Now, it's not because I don't like video games. I love them, and that kind of is the problem. I would sit and play them, and I would just get lost in them. Next thing you know, it's time to go to bed. And because I had so much joy, I just didn't have time for that. So generally, I don't like to have video games in my house because I would just get lost in them. And so when I game now, like to game outside the house, I'll go to the local arcades and play pinball and games at the arcade because I can leave and just leave it there. It'd be nice to have the house, but I just don't have the time for it right now. And anyways, too, when you go to the arcade, you get an experience you can't get at the home, for the most part, unless you're super rich. So in the home game, playing a PS3, a computer game, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, all these particular systems, they're great. They got some great games on there. I'm not knocking them. But something like John Wick, Continental Pursuit, you just can't get. Because, the chair moves, and it's just an interactive thing that these games, these spaces, is hard to replicate at your house. And that's part of the charm as well. So you're at home, game, there's nothing wrong with it, it's cool, I have fun with that. But when you go to these arcades, you got these interactive things you can move on and you can play like Godzilla, which is VR, and the chair moves, and there's skee ball, there's basketball, there's football. I think we play cornhole too. It's like all this interactive stuff you just can't get in your house for the most part. Unless you had a lot of money, that's to be the only way. So nowadays, while I appreciate gaming and all the games that came before that, trust me, I played most of the titles you can think of from back in the day. You name it, I probably played it. I'm just not out there like that. But I do know that the community is huge. People are still gaming online, all types of gaming computers. I've talked to people regularly who are still having the gaming community, and they're doing it all the time. And they tell me stories about all these great games that came out over the last few years. I hear them, and they sound great. And unfortunately, I just don't have the time for it. But I still am a passionate dude about video games. Probably as my responsibilities for things, die down a little bit. I will get back in gaming. But gaming is cool. Anyways, to circle back to John Wick. If you've been gaming on the home systems all these years, but you don't get out to the arcades like as much as you used to, or don't at all, if you can save some money, get some transportation to get there, because I know some people don't have those. I know life's hard out here, and some people that may hear this don't have access to to going places easily, or don't have access to a lot of extra funds, right? And I get that, but if you're in a space where you do, I highly recommend you go to these places and play some of these games, some of these pinball games we talked about, some of these video games. They're super fun. Take some time, enjoy yourself, and get out and just experience these games in person. They're so nice to play. They're so much fun. I had a great time with it. And if times are hard, because it's harder here, like I said, stash some cash, say somebody, just treat yourself. I know not to preach, they can take tough and bills are here and here, but what good is it just to work all the time and struggle all the time with not a little bit of time for yourself to enjoy yourself. And if you're into games, video games, I have a strong feeling that you'll enjoy this. Super fun. It's probably the top list of favorite games right now. It changes all the time, but it is super, super dope. And I think being a fan of John Wick doesn't hurt. I mean, I know a lot of people that love the John Wick franchise, and if you love this John Wick franchise and you love video games, I highly think that you're gonna love this game. Now, when you go to Dave & Buster's play, it was a little more pricey, but it's so worth it. It is so worth it. It was a good time. I was loving it. Renee LA was loving it. Phenomenally dope. It brought me back into the John Wick world, and I'll be going there even more just to play this game, bro. And have a an NA beer, eat some food, and just play this game, bro. It's so dope, bro. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, John Wick, Continental Pursuit, video games, arcades, Dave & Buster's, home gaming. Gaming is wonderful. Video games are fun. Take a break, enjoy yourself, relax. It ain't gotta be all about the work, and I work all the time, bro. I'm always working. I rarely have fun, but when I do have fun, I'm doing stuff like this. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. I appreciate you. And until next time, we'll see. To be great is to be misunderstood. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Till next time, it's Captain Peace.
The Captain Talks.